Halloween has ghosted us. Fireworks night has fizzled. Bring on the festivities. Christmas is coming. Welcome back to Bricks and Trips, Winter Village, Part 2. And there's no better place to start than exactly where we finished off. So last time we just placed the Art of Chocolate, the Bricklink Designer Programme set. Absolutely phenomenal set. I will say it every time I show this off. And there's been a little bit of progress since the last update about a week or so ago. So the first thing you'll see is a little bit of difference over here. So we already had a little bit of a rough draft with where the pathways were going to take us. And I've spent a little bit of time just to try and get this really great cobblestone effect up at the front. Now most of these pieces again were picked up on the pick and brick wall, the sort of quarter round half tiles. There was boxes and boxes of those that I picked up not that long back for exactly this sort of thing to make a really effective cobble street. And I'm already envisioning this leading all the way up to the Art of Chocolate and the Hogsmeade set, which is going to go in the back corner. So I've been frantically building away, trying to get a little bit more done in time for our mid-November deadline. And I don't think we've done too badly so far at all. So we've already got Honeydukes, the Outpost and Dervish Bangs already built. This is the first of the 3 section that the Hogsmeade Village Collector's Edition comes with. And on first impression, I will say that whilst I hate stickers, much like the Diagon Alley set that came before this, it does make the set. Because there's no way that they'll be able to get this level of detail just from brick building everything. And whilst I do hate stickers which go over multiple pieces, and especially multiple curved pieces, it really does just give that authentic movie feel. I will do a full review of the Hogsmeade Village Collector's Edition just as soon as I built it all, but I think just at the moment I'm really satisfied with the first couple of builds. There's a couple of little nitpicks, but nothing too major at this point. And when I say nitpicks, I really do mean nitpicks. These are small details, but they're the sort of details which I normally expect LEGO to get right, and I'm just a little bit disappointed that they didn't change the design ever so slightly to accommodate slightly better. So the first bit is just within the door of the owl post, and if I just open this up, what you'll see is there's a strange crossover between the two buildings, and it actually blocks nearly a full stud of the doorway, which, had they had no other way of fitting this doorway into the build, I would totally understand. But why not just put the windows onto the other side? And that way the doorway would be fully accessible. Or even further to that, just cut the windows out entirely. It seems like an odd decision from them, but I'm sure that there is a design constraint somewhere, not that I can see it. And following from that, they've got the same chimney build as the Diagon Alley set had, which I don't mind, to be honest. I think reusing good ideas is never a bad thing with LEGO, but still they're using the light grey angled pieces in here, which seems a little bit outdated at this point. If you look at the rest of the set, there's no light grey at all, apart from in the cobble street, and it just seems a little bit out of place in terms of the whole model. And also the underside of Honeydukes windows, I feel like these look a little bit unfinished. I'm certain that they're not, and it may just be a design choice again, but equally I think it maybe could have had a little bit more of a surround or a little bit more tiling, just to emphasise that these windows are being supported by grates or something similar. I don't know, there's always little bits that you can nitpick with LEGO sets, but I think a few of the things being right on the front of the model just was a little bit disappointing to me. And I normally don't mind the little issues, but often these things are hidden away in corners that you'll never look at, but as soon as you open the door to the owl post, it's the first thing that I can see. On the plus side, the interiors do look fantastic. So of course on the left hand side you've got the Honeydukes, and this looks like it's been ripped directly out of the movies, with the fizzing whiz-bees and the chocolate frog. There's definitely some references in here that I still don't get, and I would consider myself quite the Harry Potter fan. What I would say is that the instruction books didn't have any description for these things, and I know in other sets they have actually taken that time, so a little bit disappointing. You know, these details really do matter in a set that is over £300, but you can't have everything, but a few more words printed in a book probably wouldn't break the bank, LEGO. The upstairs looks a little bit more like a storage room, just for some of the more miscellaneous items. I think probably this bit just looks like it's been put there to use up a little bit of space, to be honest. But on the other side, the owl post, in contrast, is absolutely brilliant. I love that they've got the little Hogwarts Easter eggs in there with the blue, green, red and yellow tiles represented in houses, and a great selection of little letter pieces, which are going to be flung out by the owls in due course. And then you've got this really intricately detailed sticker piece. I'm not 100% certain if the places in this are sort of movie accurate references or world accurate references to specific places. And of course on the side of the set you've got a little bit of sticker details as well, which is exactly the same as sort of Diagon Alley and Sanctum Sanctorum as well, where you get these extra little Easter eggs. And that was bags 2 through 10. So the natural question is, what on earth happened with bag 1? That happened with bag 1. Cornelius Fudge in his carriage with the serpent head rails underneath, and of course the classic Lego horse. And I think this gives you a really good sense of scale. We're not going for a massive Lego village this year, but we're going to really have to utilise the space that we've got. Speaking of using the space that we've got, we still have an awkward corner right in the back. If you look just behind where we've got the lamppost, we've got this 16 by 16 square. And I'm really not sure what to do with it yet. I might end up making sort of like a custom frontage as if there was another shop there, but it's a really tight space, so I think there's going to have to be a little bit more work going into that. I mean, if you've got any thoughts or suggestions for that space, feel free to drop it in the comments down below. I'm certain that we're going to find something to fill it eventually, but right now, it's not the biggest priority. I think we've got to focus on getting the bulk features done first, and then worrying about the little bits later. Well, we'll set up most of the little details later. For now, I'll be happy just getting a couple of the minifigures in front of the set, which they really do make it pop, don't they? But as I say, details aren't what we're looking at just yet. We're trying to get something bigger built, and the left-hand side has been having a little bit of work and attention as well. So I'm trying to get a little bit of height difference up on this side, so you can see that I've put a couple of bricks with a few tiles and some additional studs on top, and this is where the 3 broomsticks and the hogshead is going to go over on this side. I'll give you a little bit of an idea of scale by just dropping honeydukes on there for a moment. And what you can possibly see is that by having these built up on the left-hand side, that you get a little bit more scale out of that winter village. But don't worry, I haven't just got the one set of buildings so far. We have also made a start on the 3 broomsticks, and I really wanted to get this one started to build so I could start to understand how the pathway was going to connect in with sort of the main courtyard down at the front. So what you'll see at the moment is that obviously this cobblestone path will be extending all the way along this front area, which is why I've got a little bit of a raised bit, but then it drops back down again. But then the main pathway is going to go right up to the front of the 3 broomsticks here. And of course we'll be building all this up with some masonry bricks, with some stonework, to just try and give it a little bit more of an authentic wall feel, because I don't just want random bricks sticking out of things. We're not about that here. So I'm looking at maybe building like a small little circular seating area in here, just to sort of give the space a little bit more of like a village vibe. And then right next to that, where we've got the edge of the modular building, we've got a few studs just in here to try and build up that ramp a little bit more, to give a little bit more rock work, a little bit more stone work, just to make it a little bit less accessible actually. And then this front edge, I'm thinking about making this more of like a dirt path, cobbled path sort of area, with sort of a gate across here to stop any horses and carriages coming in. And I think this is where the Minister for Magic himself is going to go. So his carriage and his horse will stay there, and then round on the other side we will have a gate from here to here, and then sort of building into the main village. I'm still a little bit uncertain what I'm going to do at the back of here, but I'm certain I'm going to work that out. I do have a big plan for this area. It's going to involve a little bit of ripping part of my old winter village set, but I can't wait to show you what that's going to look like. And that is not it. We have one more thing that I'd love to show you as part of this update. Can you tell what it is yet? We have built the Christmas tree for the middle front, right in the centre of the courtyard, and I love how this has turned out, using all those fern elements in the light green and the dark green. I know that it's got a gold tree trunk base at the moment. I'd love to have brown. I don't have brown bricks, but I actually think it makes it pop a little bit more away from the white tiles at the bottom. If you're interested, I'll do a sort of short roundup on how I've actually built that, but it gives a great look to the overall set. and it matches exactly what I wanted in terms of the scale of this bit, because I've got to be a little bit cautious, of course, because we've still got the lighting in behind, and I still need to be able to get on there and turn these off and on, and it still needs to be a usable space up here. That's part 2 finished, and I am absolutely done. If you didn't see part 1, what are you doing here? You generally watch part 1 and then part 2, but click here, I'll put the link up above. Part 3 is probably going to be about another week or so before I can get that out. I've got to fit this around all the other things that we're trying to do with the channel as well, so stay tuned, and if you want to see part 3, make sure you subscribe, and throw us a like if you like to see what's going on. And finally, don't forget to comment what you want to see in the back corner. I say I've got some good plans for here, but I'd love your inspiration and input as well. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time.